There was a heated debate when President Donald Trump met with President Zelensky of Ukraine in a live recorded meeting at Oval Office in the States. I wouldn't want to pick sides from what transpired, but many in the court of public opinion saw it fit to be the judge, the jury, and the prosecutor by choosing sides that President Donald Trump and his deputy had decided to side with Vladimir Putin, of which that was a clear indication that they had chosen to side with Putin while berating us a Ukrainian friend. However, I can tell how many will interpret that as siding with Putin, or these were just language games as they try to come up with amicable solutions to end the Russia-Ukraine war. Zelensky seemed to be pissed off, and his attitude raises more questions than answers on their amicable ways onto how they would come to a final ultimate conclusion of ceasing fire. Could it be that President Zelensky, wasn't ready for a peace negotiating deal, and never was he interested to come up to a ceasefire deal? Remember, in each and every war, there shall always be the benefactors who shall always stand out to benefit from the atrocities of the same particular war. And in this context, could it be meaning that President Zelensky could be directly or indirectly be a benefactor of the Russia-Ukrainian war? However, inasmuch as I just said that President Trump might have decided to side with President Vladimir Putin, but again, it wouldn't simply mean that they might have sided with the reality, because no matter who and what aid is channeled to the Ukrainians, we shouldn't forget that aid shall always prolong any conflict as people keep on losing their lives and their livelihoods. Essentially, if I am to speak of the intonation of President Donald Trump and J.D. Vance to President Zelensky, to some that seemed quite disrespectful, despite him standing strong for his Ukrainian nation on Oval Office. He stood his ground on what seemed to be right under his jurisdiction. And in fact, as many may think Trump sided with Russia, one thing I know is that President Zelensky stood to represent the values on which the United States has long stood for. How I wish that they will have just come up with more amicable ways onto how they will bring the Ukraine-Russia war to an end. But from yesterday's event, it was evidently clear that their dream of bringing the Ukraine-Russia war was more of a dream in futility. And as I come to the penultimate part of this episode, that has just been my opinion. If by any chance you do have a contrary opinion to mine, you can as well just feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll give them a right of reply. And by any chance, if you've been watching my videos and you've not subscribed, you can as well just consider hitting on the subscribe button. Thank you, and may God bless you.
You haven't been
in this
allowed.
cabinet.
You haven't been allowed.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment. And you men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards.
Thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
I can tell you
You're
again,
running low on soldiers.
Listen, please,
you're running
Mr.
low
President.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this. Look. If you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you
that wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry, here.
It'll be a tough deal to make, because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden, because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without